Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to the Not Celebration live show. As you guys know, I have been feeling very under the weather, and of course, that's due a lot to the job. A lot of kids getting sick. Tis the season to get sick, I guess. So, I didn't have time to really plan out a good celebration live show. However, I do have my good friend Dan. Dan is back after a month. Actually, no, I'm sorry, 2 months where we haven't done a live show. Welcome back, Dan.
Hey, oh, Mike isn't here, so let me go. Boo.
Boom. There you go. And this is not the celebration show, so if you're watching this, whether it be live or not live, this isn't the celebration show. I postponed that till next week. However, I'm feeling good enough to do a small live show. Unfortunately, Dan won't be able to make it next week also, so this is my chance to get Dan in on the Not Celebration, but Celebration live show. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We got some books that came out this week. We got actually a very unique segment, one that involves his trophy and my replica. We got some toys. Dan went to Toys R Us. Some of us are lucky, and some of us aren't. I got some of my stuff from Walgreens. And we're just going to sit and talk and have a good time for a little while. It's one of those live shows that it's not a scheduled live show. However, it's just, to have fun, kick back, and have a good time. And if you guys are wondering what this is behind me, I haven't folded it yet, but that's Ellie recently gave me her Attack on Titan cosplay. It's the cape with the hood from the anime. I became a humongous fan of the series since I watched it, and yeah, I tend to go a little nutsoid. I mean, I even got a pin for $1 from Japan. It just came actually today. Doesn't it look nice? Yes, it looked nice. Pretty. And it was only $1. I would recommend going on eBay and getting all of your Attack on Titan stuff. Super cheap stuff. But anyway, so Dan, this past month, we got 2 books from you. We got Argo 5, and we got Sorority of Power. And Argo 5 wrapped up, I guess, the latest story arc. And it's really, it ended you kept me from the truth, and I thought you were going to go one way with Gladiatra and Shazrat, and you completely curveballed me at the end, and I loved it, though. It was a good curveball in the end, but that book has a lot of nice action in it, really, really good artwork. Even Michael's eyes kind of popped out with the artwork in the book, and really, really great story, and great, perfect ending, actually.
Yeah, well, this issue was actually an artist who I ran into, Power Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
I had seen him doing covers for Avatar at one point. I think War Goddess was maybe the book he was doing covers for. I think he did some interiors on that also. I was blown away by his work. Came across him on the web, and through some negotiations had him draw this, excellent cover. And as you mentioned, the interior story. Try to find a page that's not too spoiler heavy here.
Yeah, that's why I kept it very spoiler light.
Yeah, he's just very. He's a true talent. One of the best looking issues.
Oh, could I ask you a question? I forgot the name of that guy, the guy with the mustache. What's his name?
That's Commander Roberts.
Thank you.
Like, they are on a space station, so he kind of
runs it.
Runs the space station and helps them decide what missions are going to be on. Gladiator is kind of like the field leader, but he's kind of like the commander on the ship, behind the scenes, so to speak.
Gotcha.
But,
I couldn't remember his name for the life of me.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, like I said, Power Rodriguez does the art. Giuseppe Pica does the colors. And, we had a variety of pinups. Comic fans might know Ben Dunn from Ninja High School, Antarctic Press. He did one. And Bill Mouse, who, of course, was creator of Nera X. He has some art in here. And I'll just also make note of Michelle Mami, who did the issue previous to this. He has a pinup in this one. Michelle did the artwork in the issue where everyone was under mind control.
Right, yeah. The
Yeah,
previous
so
issue. That's the previous issue, no?
yes, the previous issues artist has a pin-up in here, but yeah, Power Roderick's doing the art, Giuseppe Pica doing the colors. As I said, it was a combination that I was kind of thrilled with.
I was too. It was really. I like the shiny costumes. I don't know why, but I feel like there was a shine to. Especially the page you just showed reminded me of it. Also with Shazrath, there was kind of like a shine to them.
Yeah, some people do hit like a little gloss, so to speak. Like they give a little highlights
Yeah.
on some of the costumes, and yeah, I mean, Giuseppe is always, doing fantastic work. When I came across that I was going to have an issue done by Pow, I said to myself, let me jump all over getting Giuseppe on this. So, like I said, the end result, very happy with. And as you said, it kind of wrapped up the storyline of, the love triangle, so to speak.
The last page, that last page said it all.
Yeah.
That last page. Are we going to be seeing Law and Order in future issues of Argo 5?
There is more Law and Order coming. She's somewhat of a regular supporting cast. So, yeah. There's already been issues completed, except for my lettering. But there's already issues completed pretty much showing her reappearing once again.
Gotcha. And there's Michael.
Hey, everyone.
I'll give you a little exclusive right here for the live show.
Ooh.
You might see Law and Order appearing very soon in Sorority of Power as well. So that'll be one of the first characters to cross over both books, tying in the universe. But talking of Sorority of Power, there's Mike.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Mike.
So I gave one of these in honor of you.
Oh.
I gave the old salute coming out. That's your gig, though. In wrestling, we'd say that was your gimmick, and I was stealing it for a minute.
And because there's only two of us, unfortunately, I'm going to have to play with the cameras and make sure the camera sees whoever's talking at the time. But we were just talking about Dan's Argo 5. I was just talking about Argo 5. You stepped in at a perfect time because we just finished Argo 5 so we could actually go into Sorority of Power.
Okay.
Yeah, and
you read Sorority, so...
Yes, I do. So, all I gotta say is, I read Sorority of Power, and...
I'm gonna move a little bit over further.
Like, I gotta say, I was really satisfied with the story, and the artwork was really amazingly drawn, and I really thought the story was still... Like, it's still there, the story, and the only funny part was where Cybersuit had to be like the bicycle and stuff like that. Like I thought that was funny. Like just that whole thing, and even that new character, how these two girls fall in love with Tyler, I think his name was.
I think his name was Tyler.
Yeah.
Trevor. Yeah.
Trevor. Oh, what's
you did that too on the indie review. You said Tyler, and I saw Trevor, and I'm like, you mean Trevor?
I know it started with the letter T, but I was almost there.
Just call him T.
Yeah, so we'll call him Mr. T. So, no, but seriously though, like, we found out in the end that he's just like not this bad boy as they wanted to see him as and stuff. And I liked the origin you did of Mushka actually. I really liked that inside story.
It was a background.
Yeah, the background. I mean, I don't know if you did yet of Cybersuit and Leopard Lass.
Leopard Lass basically was at the beginning of the series, no?
Well, yeah, I never really went into their backgrounds yet. Those three characters are the pledges in the book, and they are tied together. So their story pre-Sorority of Power is a little tied together. I have made reference to the fact that Mushka and Cybersuit's tails are mechanical.
Yeah.
And Cybersuit, of course, her suit is cybernetic. So there's actually a tie-in between all that technology tying them all together with that. I mean, Mushka had the shrinking abilities prior to that, but no mechanical tail. Same thing with Leopard Lass. She had her abilities, but no tail. And upon hooking up with Cybersuit, we see the origins of them getting those tails that actually connect at the bottom of their spine. And as the spine connected to the brain. So once it's attached, that mental impulses could help them control those tails.
Yeah, but I was just saying that I liked how you brought the background story of the character, and I really like the whole story of where it's going. I mean, it's always 5 giggity goose stars. I mean, every time I see something that just catches me, I'm just like right there, genius, just amazing.
Well, no, I appreciate that. Actually, let me grab it right here, because you did, this is what you got digitally, the new issue of Sorority of Power.
Yep.
But there was actually a exclusive variant that tied into that little background story, if you could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
With the backpack thing.
So this is a variant by Bill Mouse, and I still have it available on the website where people can click on variant if they want this cover rather than this cover at Indie Planet. But this is the interior artist cover, Nebareth, who I had met on DeviantArt. Nebareth did some, as you said, some phenomenal interior art on this. He did half the issue, and then I had Scott Jones. Right about that time where Cybersuit became the bike, Scott Jones took over. He's known online as Shade. He's a popular artist on the web. So yeah, half with him, half with Nebareth, and yeah, again, another issue that I was very happy with the results.
Mike was very happy when he read it.
I was. I mean, every time Sorority of Power, I'm always looking forward to seeing what stuff is there. Even the pinups are still awesome to look at as well.
And you released them on such a perfect week. The week where literally there was only one new book from Marvel, and I think we got one DC book. Was it? One or two D. It was a very short. Yeah, it was a very. Oh no, it was the weeklies, the 3 weeklies.
Right, because it was like a very short review.
So you picked the perfect week to release your books in January and December, Dan.
Yeah, I had to fill in the gaps. I know people are comic deprived, so I said, hey, let's give them some good Argo comics. And here's the art that you were talking about with Nebareth. Just phenomenal, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Great work. Very happy to collaborate with him.
I actually made a proclamation during my other live show where I was talking about the schedule for the live shows starting in February, that at the end of this year I'm hoping to start a Kickstarter myself, see if I can get my story done. And I'm doing a couple of edits on it. There's a couple of things that need to be changed on it, and then finding an artist to do some still shots at least, just to show what the interior artwork will look like when the book is complete. And I'll, of course, have Dan in my corner helping me out, with opinions and whatnot. I already showed him a few ideas that I had, and hopefully we'll be seeing something from my stories in comic book form at some point, hopefully.
Yeah, we had a few recolors of a couple of your character.
Yeah,
right?
I showed Dan some sketches of my characters, and he actually took them and he actually colored them. I don't want to show them yet because there's a reason. I might be changing certain things, and if I change certain things, it might change the costumes. So yeah. I'm gonna leave that as a hidden thing for now, but the pictures will come as. I think this is a perfect thing as a year-long project. Starting from now, I'm going to start doing the outline. I'm going to be redoing it, maybe even put a new title on it. Who knows? I'm going to work on the story I have, make a broad outline like a skeleton, and then beef it up. Start with the skeleton, get into the muscle, then you get into the skin, and then You have a full fleshed out project.
Yeah, but basically you're saying you want to revise your story.
I'm revising what I have, but I might be pulling something new
Okay.
into it. I might be changing up a few things. Some names need to be changed. Maybe the title, maybe not. I might keep the title. I do like the title. I will say that. I just have to make sure nobody else has taken it, or you can't be too close. You can't be too close to somebody else's title because then it's copyright. But
isn't it kind of some other people take the titles that are already out there?
Yeah, you can change up a word here.
But you don't want to.
I don't want to be confused. Yeah, because it's very easy. For example, Attack on Titan, right? Do you guys know how many times I screwed up and said Titanfall?
Or Clash on Titan.
I didn't even think of that. Thank you so much. So now I have two
movie,
things.
Something Titan, like Giant Titans. It was like a football.
Tiny
movie.
Titans.
No.
But anyway, you know how many times I screwed up the title because I'm not. I have the game Titanfall in my head, and at the time I wasn't. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to. The first 2 episodes where to find them, and I keep typing in Titanfall, and they're like, "What are you crazy? That's a video game." I'm like, okay. So I want my title to be unique also. I want it to be something different.
Okay.
Well, what's funny is that there's several comic companies with a character named Titan. But, I mean, just like in mythology, you have Hercules. Anyone can publish that. Titans were in mythology. But there was actually a Kickstarter that I donated to, and it was his Titan character, I guess, going to multiple universes, fighting all these characters called Titan, and one of the guys who gave money to the project to get his character in the book, he publishes his own book called The Mighty Titan, Joe Martino from Red Anvil.
Mm-hmm.
Red Anvil publishes that War of the Independents. So he bought into that book to get his character, Mighty Titan, to be one of the alternate universe Titans that the guy fights. I have a character called Titan in Impact International, which appeared in Argo Comics Anthology.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how there's a lot of Titans running around. There's a lot of Herculeses running around, so,
I also find it, there are a few characters. Hawk is a very common word. Dove is a very common word for female superheroes. For example, Hawk and Dove, even though DC Comics had a book called Hawk and Dove, Hawk is a more general, you can use that. I've seen a lot of people use the word Hawk. I mean, the game that we used to play, what was it called? The one where you could play as one of the 4...
Fighting Force?
Fighting Force.
Yeah,
Hawk one of the people... Because Hawk is a name, also. So you can't copyright a name.
And also there's characters like Hawkman and...
right, so honestly, you can't copyright Hawk. You can't copyright bird names. That's one thing I've noticed. So,
well, you have to... You can trademark a title, though. So, if you had another book, Hawk and Dove, you'd be blown out the water, or...
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just talking about characters in general, like just character names. Yeah, I agree with you. Titles are definite. That can never be replicated again, Hawk and Dove, unless DC gives you express written consent.
Right.
Like, even Hero Comics had Champions, which, Marvel had some rights to or something, so they changed that. A notable, trademark type thing is the fact that the word superhero, most people aren't realizing that Marvel and DC co-own a trademark and copyright on superhero. So there was a book called Superhero Happy Hour, and they were, got some legal letters that had made them change the book to Hero Happy Hour.
I don't think that word should be copywritten because that's a general word. That's like me saying car. Car is a copywritten word. Now, I know there's the movie Cars, but that's like me saying the word car is copywritten. When you're in a book, you can't say the word car. You have to call the car by its company name.
Like Ford or Honda.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, you can use the word car, and you can't call it a Ford or a Honda, you're saying, right? Like, you can't say, I was going to actually say Lamborghinis in one of my scripts, and then I said, wait a minute, that's a Lamborghini company, they own that.
Right, then they're going
to say expensive sports cars is what I replaced it with. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, yeah, brand names you can't, like you can say sandwich cookie, you really shouldn't be saying Oreos. You know, it's
Right. It's like me with Pepsi. I'm not gonna say Pepsi in my comic book, but I'll say soda.
yeah,
Yeah.
very good. But yeah,
So,
superhero. Most people don't know that. They're thinking it's a common term. Superhero is co-owned by Marvel and DC, so they jump on, you know, they really jump on their copyrights.
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
But you know what? That's fine because that wasn't part of my title anyway, and my characters aren't considered that anyway, so I'm not worried. But there are a few things I feel. You know, I wrote all 36 stories when I was 17. I am 10 plus years since I was 17, and I've learned a lot in my time with comic books, in my time talking with people who are writers, who are creators, and there's a lot I want to work on. However, I will be fixing up the story after I do a couple of name changes, and I will post it on Frontline Fiction. I did promise that. I'll do maybe the first story, and then I'm going to go back to my Frontline story that I'm working on. But I don't know if I'm even going to need to find a company to publish by. That's what I'm wondering, or if I could just self-publish.
No, definitely you can self-publish, and you know you can do it like print on demand. That way you're not ordering like 10,000 copies, having them sit in your garage or whatever. You know, you can order just however many copies you might need for conventions, have it on available online. Anyone
Like
orders
what you
it,
do,
pick up a
basically.
copy and send it right out.
So basically, like what you do on Indie Planet.
Yeah, Indie Planet, Kablam, Kablam being the publishing company and Indie Planet being their distributor. You know, it's a great model.
So
for,
your comics are print on demand then.
Yeah, and or digital. They have digital.
Right.
You can click on digital as a choice, and you know, download it right there.
But
So
all the money from the sales go to the creators.
yeah, I mean, there's a certain amount taken out, of course, for the company
Percentage.
printing them,
Yeah,
and
right.
then a certain amount for the for the creator, the publisher. You know, however you make. You know, some people do it through Kickstarter. That's another way of going. I mean, the only difference is Kickstarter is basically a pre-order. It isn't ready, and you know, you're ordering it and hoping it'll get done. With I guess Indie Planet and Kablam, it's almost like a kick ender. It's like it's done. Here, help support my book. It's, you know, I guarantee you'll get it because you know.
It was funded.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You
So
know.
I'm hoping, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that after I do some good editing and some fine tuning, I'll get a really good artist to do some stills. I have Dan stills if I keep the costumes as is, and I'll put them on the Kickstarter. Get some really nice what do you call those? The subgroups and groups set up where there'll be shirts, I'm sure, and you know, comic books and digital copies and thank yous and whatnot. And see where it goes. I mean, I'm just gonna do the first issue. Maybe a stretch goal will be for the next issue or two, depending on how far we go. I'm gonna check the comments really quick because I have not checked them at all yet, and my internet works. Okay, I want to check and see if anybody, because I see we got a few viewers and we have some comments. So let me actually say hello to. Jeremy Renfro. Jeremy, my man, you're always on these live shows. Great to see you, man. He says, hello, guys. How are you doing tonight? Headache, sick, but wanted to do this live show. And Justin Paget. Hey, Justin, what's up, man? He's another one that's always on. How's it going, guys? Same thing, you know. I'm still getting over a little bit of a thing, but this is what happens when you work with kids. You end up catching everything they have. You know, you expect the parents to be smart enough to know when to keep their child at home, but the absence of brains with some people is kind of sad. So we get sick, and that's why I didn't have the time to properly promote the celebration. So this is the See, I couldn't come up with a title for this live show, so I took a title, or I took a phrase from the Lord of the Rings, kill me, but I'll probably end up changing it to the not celebration live show or something, because this isn't the celebration, but this is a live show where we're chilling, we're having a good time. We're talking about Dan's 2 new books, which both Mike and myself are very happy with. By the way, Dan, speaking of 2 new books, we are now in January Your books came out at the end of December, so honestly, they were end of December, January books. Are we going to be seeing anything in February?
Well, it's funny in the fact that that's issue number 16,
Uh-huh.
and I have all drawn but not lettered issues 17 through probably like 25.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
But 16 ran into some delays, which it kind of I do have to print them in order because it does kind of tie up a plot thread that was introduced in issue 12.
Okay.
If you recall, Malcifer, the demon, came and tried to kidnap Kathira.
Right, and then he disappeared.
Yes. So this will kind of deal with that. I don't want to get too far away from issue 12 to the point where,
we're gonna forget
all that storyline. So, I'm just on top of the artist. Actually, as the art's coming in, it's going right to the colorist. As he's doing that, I'm hitting the lettering. So each page is getting done as it comes in. I'm just, hoping that the artist can, pick up the pace a little bit so we're not left too long in between. But after that, clear sailing ahead.
Awesome. That is, you have, let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 months. If you do it one a month, you basically have the entire year of 2015 locked down except for November and December.
Well, here's the thing with independent comics, though. I mean, when you're outside of previews or whatever, you do have to give it enough time that people know that the next issue is out. So you have to spend a particular amount of time on marketing. If you go monthly, people might be able to, catch up with it. But, I mean, the independent comics, they're really there's a full slate of them out there right now.
Right.
So all vying for attention, a lot of great books. So, maybe every 5 weeks or so. I have to, of course, work in another full-time job. I have to get to the lettering. Want to make sure I got great pinups on each issue. So, it'll be a pretty steady pace. I guess I'll give an exclusive here again for our live show viewers. I got 16 in production, like I said. We'll have a cover by Mario Gully, OMG, who's known for creating Ant, which was in Arcana and Image. Got a cover by him, and number 17 will have a cover by Michael T. Gilbert, creator of Mr. Monster, one of my favorite independent books. I was lucky enough to get him to do a cover. And we may even see Mr. Monster, a little guest star on the cover. So,
wow.
Big things to come. It's just a matter of getting everything together. I don't usually publicize that type of stuff on Facebook or, Twitter or anything like that because I don't want it to be old news. But, here on the live show, we got to have some exclusives, so that's some news coming out of me.
That's awesome. I have a question, though. With the New York Comic Con Special Edition, which I actually did want to touch on really quickly, are you going to... I know you probably won't get a table because I have no clue even how to go about getting a table for Special Edition. I mean, New York Comic Con, the site's straightforward. I don't know if you'd have to go on the New York Comic Con one or anything, but are you planning to try to attend the Special Edition? I know last year, if I'm not mistaken, either you were working or you didn't know about it till it was too late. I can't remember why last year.
Yeah, that one kind of slipped away. I'm trying to remember myself.
June. It was in June.
Trying to think if I had another convention already lined up.
Yes, you did. You did. The one that was in
Long Island itself, right? Because
either Long Island or in Queens. What was the one in Queens?
I think Long Island was Eternal Con.
That was it. Eternal Con. Yeah, you said it was the same weekend. Yeah, you were at Eternal Con that weekend.
There you go. So,
that was it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. A lot of times you'll book a show and then another show will like pop up. Um, Eternal Con's a great con right here in Long Island. Love that show. Uh, Always nice to be able to just drive someplace, park, and get in the place rather than trains, planes, or automobiles. So, well, that is automobiles. Sorry about that. But at any rate, yeah, Eternal Con actually branched out. They held that show in Queens over at the World Resorts Casino. I do know I have in April uh, the show at the Meadowlands, East Coast Comic Con. So looking forward to that one. But yeah, special edition remains to be seen.
Gotcha. They didn't even post dates for press yet, so honestly, the only news I have for special edition is once they mention or once dates are picked, I guess they have to pick the dates before you can apply for press or anything. But Mike and I had a blast those 2 days. We got lots and lots of signed prints. That was the convention because it was only an artist alley, and it was really strictly for the creators, and it was a great time. We had really great interviews. We got lots of really great signed prints, and hopefully maybe the people I missed out on or that I couldn't afford to get their prints, like the one that me and Dan introduced me. I always forget that guy's name. I'm horrible.
Kevin McGuire.
I always get the last name. I never get the first. Kevin McGuire. I wasn't able to get his prints, but maybe if he's there this year, I'll grab his prints this time. We came out with a lot last year. We got Ed McGuinness. We got some stuff from the Turtles. We got some stuff from did we get the one from no, yeah, we did. The one that does Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, we got
her
that.
also.
Oh, and we got that other guy that did like that drawing in the book. The one that you and Cindy.
Francis Manipul?
Yeah. Right, Francis Manipul.
That was a really wow.
That was a wow. And then we did Archie Comics as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to touch on that World Unite thing that's coming out because Sonic and Mega Man are supposed to be teaming up again. I want to know more stuff about it.
Absolutely. So hopefully this year, they mentioned it was going to be this year. It was a blast last year. I think it was perfect for last year. Honestly, though, the week thing before New York Comic Con, I think that was a bit much. But Special Edition was a nice small convention. It was only 2 days. Mike and I will definitely be there if they do.
Well, if work permits, hopefully I'll be there. But I think I should.
Hopefully, Dan, you could be there this year. I know if Eternal Con is, I don't know, they might try to reschedule where there's no convention. But if Eternal Con's not there, hopefully you'll pop in. Even if you're just going as a person going, you know, it'd be great to have you come along.
No, at most of these conventions, being at a table, sometimes I'm thinking to myself, wow, this looks like a great show, and I'm missing it because I'm, stuck at the table. Luckily, at New York Comic Con, I had sorority power artist Bill Mouse at the table, so I was able to get up and we were able to, go over to Kevin McGuire, and then, of course, get that interview with Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be able to wander off. A lot of these conventions, sometimes I'm anchored at the table. I'm there, of course, to expose people to Argo comics. So, sometimes I have to be there, of course.
It's like that inner conflict. It's an inner conflict of creator versus fan. You want to go out there and, enjoy the convention as a fan of comic books and all the stuff that's there, but at the same time, it's like, you're fighting between selling your product and enjoying other people's products.
Yeah, I mean, all the conventions I went to before being a publisher, I mean, you talk about special edition only being Artist Alley, that's all any of these conventions are for me. I mean, I admire people's work in Hollywood. I'm not really into, staying online for an autograph or anything.
Right.
I get comics and toys every week pretty much from a comic store, so I really don't need to dig around for merchandise and stuff like that. To me, getting original art, meeting these creators, such a big comic arts fan, as you know.
Yeah.
So, to me that always was the show, Artist Alley.
Well, I mean, still going on the main floor just a little bit to just enjoy, because I noticed that Artist Alley, it's not just Artist Alley anymore. In New York Comic Con this year, it was the block at the very beginning of the convention to the left, all the way in the left. That was another Artist Alley because there were all creators there. That's where the people who did Zombie High Fructose Zombie was,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a few other creators. I guess that's a more higher paying artist alley.
That is a small press, that is.
Yeah, so there were more people there also.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't one to do, as you know, I do prints and sketches myself. So if I wasn't one to do that, then I'd probably just pop over to small press. But I like to, take on commissions and stuff like that. So that's why I usually set up an artist alley.
Gotcha. Well, I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed Artist Alley. The block was nice, but I believe, and I'm trying to think, because with the most of the interviews, if not all of them, I believe, were in Artist Alley except for Zenoscope for us. I mean, we saw a few people on the floor, but we didn't get to talk with them. That's why getting Brian Michael Bendis, and he stopped and he talked with us for, I believe it was about a 5-minute video. That was amazing. But most of our interviews took place in Artist Alley, actually. The main floor itself was basically where we went shopping and where we just had a good time filming the event itself. I mean, we found the Death of Wolverine first printing that we actually had Charles Soule autograph. That was about really the main floor. Now that Dan says that, it's true. The main floor, most of the stuff that we did on the main floor was buy, and there were a few people we talked to on the main floor and in the block. But for the most part, that was mostly just us being fans more than press. Right. The press stuff happened a lot in Artist Alley, but Artist Alley is so cool. I think I spent at least 70% of the time we were at New York Comic Con in Artist Alley.
Well, that
mostly
really
in front of Dan's booth, but in Artist Alley.
Yeah.
And luckily, my neighbor was that guy who drew the Rocco comic, right?
I know, and we got that print from the Rocco comic. That was so cool. I wish I could grab it. I have it all the way up there, but that was so cool.
Yeah, you got an original art page from him, right?
Yeah, that was, and I showed we showed a few people when we got home, and they're like, "Wow, I've never owned an original," and they don't do it anymore because all original artwork now is done on computer. So it's not like you have that big page anymore where the artist will actually sit there and draw in the lines and everything. So to get something like that, even if it's just a Rocco comic, that's rare because they don't do it anymore. It's all done on the computer, and you can't take a person's computer. So,
yeah, that artist was Gary Fields, and he was a great guy. We sat there, talked a lot. There are a good number of artists who still do paper, but you're right. A lot of them do digital now, and there is no original art. But there's still a good number who do it the old-fashioned way.
I think a lot of the original artwork and honestly comes from commissions now, because the artists who are there, usually they have like a pad, or they pay you $5 for a sketch, or people bring them like what Cindy was doing with the book, and you ask for sketches and they'll do a quick sketch for you. But mostly on paper, it's really the commission work now, not really so much the actual comic stuff. And that's another thing that I feel like comics are losing out on. The artwork was a lot more hand drawn. You had to hand draw it, then scan it, and then put it onto the comic book. Now it's so digitalized that even the artwork itself is digital. Yeah. For most books, not all, because I think Francis Manipal, as a matter of fact, speaking to him, his work is a lot drawn and then scanned in. Because he's a painter. He doesn't draw. He paints most of his work, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, recently, actually, Mike grabbed the Rocco. Recently, it's hilarious that you mentioned the Rocco thing, Dan. We actually found out that the Nickelodeon started making full DVD sets of the cartoon series, so we actually got the complete set of Rocco's Modern Life.
There you go.
So that was cool. I don't know. I like it, and hopefully, like I said, if we do get to go to special edition, even if you can't get a table, you could just butt around with us, because we're going to be doing exactly what you're doing, looking for the prints and the signatures and just talking with other creators.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, no better place to be. Of course, in the past, I've lined up some pinups for Argo comics at these conventions. So, a lot of sometimes the bigger names that you see. I don't always get in contact with them online, but at a convention, some of these guys, of course, have people running from the opening gate to their table to be, because there's only so many spots. Some of these guys fill up very quickly, and you have to be. Was it not the last issue, but Sorority Power number 8 had a Terry Dodson pinup, and again, that was a matter of getting to the table early enough and being one of the few that he got a pinup done for.
Mark Bagley, I was going to mention that Mark Bagley was at the convention, New York Comic Con, but you're right. I mean, he sifted through all the artwork he had done at the last day of the convention, and some of them didn't even look half done. He had addresses on them for when he finished.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much time. They'll be doing work, and they might even go back to the hotel room to do work afterwards, but there's only so many hours, and I'm sure the demand for a lot of these artists is well beyond, what the time frame allows. I've had a couple instances where I had them mailed out to me after the show where they didn't, get it done, but always great if you can leave the show with it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the mail.
Yeah, and also you have it for the book because I believe you had both of your books coming out at a week or two after New York Comic Con, so it's perfect because you had it right there for the new books.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a little time to get it colored or whatever, and have a book ready to go. But yeah, a lot of times you can get some of the newer pieces into the book as soon as you get done, and I mean, it's always great to see, I guess, one of these well-established artists do their takes on your characters because you've loved their style over the years. When Kevin McGuire did the Gladiator pinup, which I believe is in issue 0, Argo 5 issue 0, or Argo 5 number 3, one of those. But I mean, there's a guy who his run on JLA. Loved that. He had his own book, Strike Back. I followed him, whatever book he went on, following his art. And now to have him do his take on one of my characters, allow me to publish it, I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
Gotcha. All right, we have actually a question, and it's been there for 17 minutes, so I'm sorry. Ryan H., by the way. Hi, Ryan. This is a question pertaining to the Big Two. How do you feel about the Marvel Battle World thing? I like that 2099 gets a spot on the map, but I hope they don't go canceling stuff like Spider-Gwen because of it. Dan, you know about what's going on with Marvel, right? That Secret Wars, apparently there's going to be a humongous mashup at some point, and basically what's going to happen is Marvel's Earth is going to become this gigantic battle world with little regions, and each region is going to be a different either Elseworld or future. Like 2099 has his own spot on Battle World. Manhattan's going to be 616 and the Ultimate Comics universe. And I don't know. Have you heard about that?
I've heard about it. I didn't really get it. It seems like convergence, right? I mean,
yeah, that's what we were saying on the live show. It really does. I don't know. I don't like it. It's a cluster of all these different, and Marvel Zombies also, by the way, mixed in with Age of Ultron. All of these stories and all of these worlds and universes mashed together on one planet, and this is the new status quo. This is going to be, from what the writers are saying, forever. This is the new Marvel universe. There is no Earth anymore. It's Battle World. Period. That's the Marvel thing. That's the all-new Marvel. So it's not a reboot. It's not a soft reboot. It's basically, we're just going to take shit and throw it onto this gigantic planet. It's no longer going to be Earth, but it's going to have dozens of different factions from dozens of different what-if stories or alternate universes or what have you. And it's a cluster that I think is really it's going to hurt Marvel more than help it, in my opinion.
They're putting Ultimate in there as well, or?
Ultimates will be in Manhattan with the 616 universe.
Okay. So, well, I mean, it sounds like Marvel has a little bit of a history of, I don't know, the story acting as the editor. Like, and they're just going to probably kill off whatever they feel they're not going to use anymore and, keep whatever they want to use for the future.
Right.
Kind of like what New 52 did, I guess. And, they were able to sweep away anything they weren't too happy with and keep what they wanted to keep. Marvel has done it before with Spider-Man having Mephisto act as the editor, where
Right.
it's like, well, we don't like him being married anymore, so Mephisto is going to act as the editor and wipe away whatever we don't want. I mean, I don't know. Not that thrilled.
Readers didn't like it. See, I think this is something us as readers we're not going to like, and Marvel's not going to care because they're going to be like, well, it works better for us, so we're going to do Battle World, and if it fails, maybe a year later we'll change our mind. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, they could always. Heroes Reborn, they swept that under the rug, even though that kind of resurfaced in Fantastic Four recently. So, yeah, I mean, they could always, I guess, do whatever they want as far as, resetting it again. As we said, New 52 just happened. Now we get Convergence. So, I guess they have an ultimate number of, rehashings or whatever. But I think I just read recently, and I forget who it's attributed to. They said something about there's only so many times that you could revitalize a character, redesign a character, before you're just pretty much shocking the corpse, trying to get some life back into it. So, they may be falling prey into this a little bit. But, it's just about people who are, I've read those characters for years myself. New 52 killed a lot of it for me. Maybe this will do the same for Marvel. I basically am at the point where most of the time I'm just following artists. If they got Terry Dodson drawing, Tom Rainey drawing, Mike McCone drawing, I'm down. That's what Paco Diaz. These are people who I'm just like, whatever book they're going to be jumping on, I'll jump over there. Paul Pelletier, I'm not really an Aquaman fan, but still been buying Aquaman for Paul Pelletier.
Gotcha. With me, with the New 52, I dropped a lot of DC. With I want to see if we got more comments. With Battle World, I feel like I'm going to be dropping a lot of Marvel. Now, the thing is, with hold on, let me pause that. Actually, yes, we do. We have one that was posted 2 minutes ago. With DC though, see, I feel like 2015 is a very, very Jeremy. I'm going to get to your question, your post in a moment. With everything that's going on this year, Convergence, which we don't know what's going to happen after Convergence. Now, Secret Wars basically is going to destroy the Marvel Universe and make it a cluster of a million different other Marvel universes. Yeah, I think this is going to be the most stressful year in history for comic book fans. One of the most stressful, at least. And I'm already stressing out on what's going to happen with DC. Now I've got to worry about how, first of all, with Marvel, there's two stresses. How much this is going to affect the books I read, and how much the books are going to be. Because Marvel this year has become very, very price happy, so to speak. A lot of their books, for no reason now, are $5. The last Deadpool issue is $10. There's another book that's $7 or $8. I mean, if you look at the solicits, Dan, for April, for whatever amount of books there are that are $3.99, a lot of books are $5. The last this, the first that. Issue number 6 of Spider-Man and the X-Men is $5. No reason. Just the mall blows up. I think Marvel has gone above and beyond insane with the way they price their comic books. Now, I understand during Convergence, DC's charging $3.99 per book. First, they're only releasing so many books a week, and it's 2 parts. And then we go back to the old. We don't know what we're going back to, honestly. But it's 2 parts. It's not 100 different books. It's, I believe, under 52 books or exactly 52 different series. And then we don't know. The thing that stresses me with DC is, are we going back to the old DC universe? I highly doubt that. Are we going to go into a different type of DC universe that meshes up the new 52 and the old DC universe? I don't know. Are we going to go half the books in the new 52, half the books in the all pre-new 52? That's the only worry I have. What exactly is Convergence going to do for DC? Or is this just the big goodbye to the pre-new 52 universe? We don't know. Maybe this is the writers at DC saying, just, we're giving you that last...
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
crossed.
Fingers crossed for what?
The end of the new 52.
I hope, because I'm not, as much as I got used to it in the past 3 years, you shouldn't get used to a universe. You should love reading about the universe. And as much as I enjoy the writing on some of the stories, and I am enjoying certain aspects of a lot of the stories that I'm still buying, I would give anything to get the old DC universe back. But I think that either we're going to get a mashup of the two, or we're going to have some pre-New 52, some New 52. I doubt we're going directly back to the pre-New 52. I just pray that this isn't the last hurrah for the pre-New 52 universe. Like, Convergence is our last time we're going to see these characters ever. Like, they're going to go away and there is no possibility of ever seeing them again. That's what I'm hoping doesn't happen.
Well, yeah. I'd like to see them reestablish a separate Wildstorm universe, because, I mean, I have a good majority of what Wildstorm had published, and I loved it. It didn't work trying to fold it into the DC universe. I don't know if Jim Lee thought perhaps if he folded it into there, it would ensure his legacy would live on or something.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I know they reintroduced Gen 13 a little bit just recently in Supergirl. They really need to... I have every issue of Stormwatch, and it just... up until a little while ago, because, again, when it was in the New 52, and then Keith Giffen had to bring the Weird in, which, you know, is one of his characters he created, didn't really work in there. It just took, like, what was such a great Wildstorm series, Stormwatch and the Authority, and it just kind of made him so it went downhill. What can I say? Yeah, I'd like to see that separated. What's funny, though, is that I just saw in this week's, I don't want to give anything away, spoiler for Earth 2. Anyone reading the Earth 2 stuff? It's not a huge point, but I think after that Spider-Woman cover with Milo Manera, where everyone got up in arms about the pose, it seems like everything's going very against any, I guess, sexualization of women or anything like that. And, I mean, you know, again, I can see they redesigned Batgirl, they redesigned Spider-Woman so she wouldn't have that costume. Now in the Earth 2, Power Girl's like circle cut out. Somehow she had Superman's old uniform, and the S-shield jumped up onto her costume. I didn't know what power that was that made that do that, but I almost saw like the sound effect, like politically correct, jump across the screen. It was like, how did that happen? Like, you know, and it just seems they have the new Power Girl also on Earth 1, who's, you know, I mean, again, I know I probably get some heat putting out Sorority of Power for that type of stuff, but, you know, there has to be a balance. I mean, people, you know, enjoy sometimes racy stuff. We've seen Desperate Housewives on TV, this show, that show, whatever. I don't know if we have to. Once we homogenize everything so much, at some point, these things are going to kind of lose like their flavor and personality. And I understand we want to be politically correct, of course, but you do want to bring some edginess to the comics, and it seems like a lot of comics are kind of losing that. And that's why I think people gravitate towards something like Saga or whatever that has a bit more of that type of spice in it. But
I agree. I noticed this past year, I'm just getting tired of it. I mean, Marvel's supposed to be called the House of Ideas. I feel like the house has finally, it's like a house of cards. It caved. And the House of Ideas now is the House of Lost and Found. We lost something and we are looking for it. Or the House of No More Ideas. Or the House of Lost Ideas. Or the House of Let's Throw Anything into a Pot Ideas and hope that it goes. I don't know. And when it comes to DC, I understand they tried with the New 52, and it worked. It did. I'm not going to lie. I hate saying it. I want to rip every fiber of my hair out when I say that, but it worked. It did. It got the sales up. That's what DC wanted. They wanted the money. They wanted the sales. The first issues, you had to go on eBay in the beginning to find those issue number ones, or else you were screwed. You couldn't buy them. They sold. It's true.
Yeah.
It sold out. Then the September stuff. First, it was the 52 one-shots. The second year, it was the 3D covers, which sold out again.
It was Villains Month as well.
Yes, and they sold out. This year, it was...
this past year.
Yeah, this year. This past September was Future's End. And the 3D covers again, but this time it wasn't as sold out. No, as a matter of fact, none of them sold out. It was very accessible and very easy to pick up any of the 52 one-shots.
Or it could be that wasn't going to be that accurate. I mean, 5 years later, like, how do you know?
Well, they're claiming that's what's going to happen. No, I'm saying people are tired of it. People got tired of the DC comic gimmick. First, it was the New 52. Then it was the 52 issues in September. Then it was the 3D covers. This year, we went from Forever Evil into Future's End, World's End, and, well, Batman Eternal doesn't count. Batman Eternal is its own story. So we went into Future's End and World's End, which is now leading into Convergence. What's going to happen after Convergence? Will something good happen? Will something bad happen? We don't know. And I feel like DC Comics finally sees the New 52 is not doing as well as it was when they started. I mean, DC Comics was dominating the sales for months, dare I say about a year, and then Marvel Comics came out from under them with the movies. I think the movies really helped push Marvel a lot.
Yeah.
But Marvel came up and said nope and put DC back down into second place, and I'm not gonna lie, I cheered. I wanted DC to be in second place because that would show the creators and that would show the company and the editorials or whoever, the corporate side, that the New 52 isn't selling as well as they foresaw it to be selling at this time. And I feel like we are 30-somewhat issues in, and I think half of the community is hoping that either we get a mesh-up of the New 52 and the old DC Universe, or we're going to get a split down the middle. Half of the world is going to be the pre-New 52 DC Comics that we all know and love for the past 75-plus years, and the other half will be the New 52, which will become the ultimate universe for DC Comics, which I could live with 3 Superman titles, one being pre-New 52, one being New 52, and one possibly interchanging, because then I know at least I got my stories mixed in with some old, it would maybe, knowing that the New 52 would be an ultimate universe, I would be more receptive to that Superman, because that is not the Superman, that is a Superman.
Yes,
and the Superman is in the other book. Wouldn't you agree, Dan? But
oh, yeah, most definitely. That Superman is the worst offense to me of the whole New 52. So, Yeah, I mean, if you can get the real Superman back, that would go a long way into, you know, my enjoying DC again. Uh, I don't know if they were trying to redesign the character more and more because of those lawsuits and trying to like make him a different character so that they can continue to operate without Siegel and Schuster estates, and I believe they got that hammered out. But yeah, I mean, they still haven't converted him back to a recognizable character.
His personality has definitely changed. It feels more like the pre-New 52 Superman now. He's not very impulsive. He's not very self-absorbed or very aggressive anymore. He feels a lot more like his his original incarnation. A lot of people told me to tell Mike, Spider-Slayer, and Cat to get Batman, Superman issue 17. Do you have Batman, Superman 17 and 18? I don't remember if those were in your haul videos. I'm trying to remember. I'm not.
Yeah, well, I still have to do the other one tonight, but yeah, I have those. Let me see. Well, this one we're talking Batman, Superman.
Yes. Okay. Yes, you do. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The artwork's really good in this
Yeah.
story arc, and Superman feels a little bit more like himself, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I'm just nervous for Convergence. You know, it's 2 months. 2 months. And the solicits for one of those 2 months is out now. So that means we have to wait 2 months, and we don't know if DC Comics is going to give us solicits. They might leave us in the dark until after Convergence with their solicits completely. If they really want to be jerks and not tell us, you know, what comes next after Convergence. They could hold their previews until Convergence at least starts.
I think one of the problems DC is having, in my opinion, is the fact that each of these titles are getting a little too wrapped up in their own mythology. It's almost to the point where, like, someone would say, "Get over yourself." Superman became all about Krypton. Like, in the past, you'd have stories that pertain to Krypton, but there were other stories that really didn't have anything to do with Krypton. It was about Superman and making up a great story. Green Lantern became all about the Green Lantern Corps and the rings and the Rainbow Lanterns. Flash became all about the Speed Force at one point, and just like they moved away from creating stories, and they just kept like seemingly digging deeper and deeper into their own mythology to the point again where I'd want to say, get over yourself. It's like, can someone just like not keep building and building and building upon their individual backgrounds and have just something like tell a good story involving this character, perhaps? I don't know. That's my take on it.
Jeremy actually, and he says it here again, I'm still hoping Convergence is just one big, elaborate April Fool's joke. You mentioned this on the live show on Tuesday. I hope it's not an April Fool's joke. Also, Shadow Ash, hi. Shadow Ash said hi 12 minutes ago. Thank you for interrupting me. And then Jeremy also said, funny thing, Brian Michael Bendis once said in an interview that if 616 and Ultimate were to cross over, Marvel would be house out of ideas. I ironically can agree with that. Brian Michael Bendis is right. They are the house out of ideas. Because I haven't seen a good idea since Original Sin. And before Original Sin, by the way, too. And I am enjoying Spider-Verse, I'm not going to lie. I am enjoying it. It's a cluster of books, but it's still an enjoyable read, in my opinion. I'm just one person out of a million other comic readers and reviewers. But, again, we just have to wait and see. But what I was saying was, I noticed in the past year, I've just fed up. I've gotten to the point now where Marvel and DC are competing with each other. You have Convergence that's happening in April and May, and then in June we have Secret Wars starting in Marvel, and it's just like, oh, well, you're having an event? we're going to have an event. You're restarting or you're doing something to your universe, we're going to do something to our universe. It's like too many big events, and I noticed I gravitate more to indie companies now. I gravitate to Dark Horse, I gravitate to Image, I especially gravitate to Zenescope, I gravitate to IDW and Boom Studios. I'm loving the work there, and I'm gravitated to Dan's book. I gravitated to, we have Dirk Manning, we gravitated to his book, and Chris Charleston's work with Assailant Comics. I've gravitated now to, I guess this is the perfect time as any to show it off. I've gravitated to mangas, and you have to read mangas backwards. See, in America, we read books from left to right. In Japan, they read from right to left. So instead of opening a book the normal, well, in my eyes, the normal way, you have to do it backwards. I've resorted to reading books backwards because I cannot take the shit that DC and Marvel are dealing with to me. But of course, I will say it's some really nice artwork, though. I will say that. I've always liked anime-esque art. I
got addicted recently to Attack on Titan.
Well, you're starting at the back of the book? I know I've read some in the past, but not recently.
Yeah, you have to start at the back of the book and work your way to the front instead of the front to the back. Like, if you open the book to the first page, it says stop. This is the end of the book. You have to go to the other side and start. This book is really nice. I really do. I'm enjoying it for what it is. Again, it's just a really good story. I don't know how Japan can claim. Well, let's see if it's here. If they mention, yeah, IO9 claims that Attack on Titan is Japan's equivalent of The Walking Dead. No, I don't think so. But I
think this guy might have something to say about that.
Godzilla.
He might have something to say about that. I think King of the Monsters, I think he is their equivalent to Walking Dead.
There you go. Exactly. So, I don't know. But I will say this. The artwork in the beginning of the book, a lot of people say the artwork was sketchy. And I'll give you that. Okay, it was sketchy, and it got better towards the end. But honestly, I really have no problem with it. I'm trying to find a good piece of art.
Is that all in color, or is that partially black?
All black and white. No, unfortunately, it's all black and white. But it's okay. I mean, we're used to it with Walking Dead anyway.
Yeah.
Here's some Titans.
Okay.
It's really good. I really do enjoy the anime. I think the artwork's fine, to be honest. I have no real complaint about it. I mean, yeah, there are, because this is the Colossal Edition, a lot of it does, some of it has colored pages.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw you show some color pages before.
Yeah. There's 12 color pages, I believe, to divide up some of the chapters. But, come on, give me some pages of swords and stuff. A lot of this was the training, so hard to find something that... But the way to stop them is you have to cut the back of their neck, so that's one thing, I guess, that you could say is anime-esque. That's another colored page.
I think Ranma 1/2 was one of the few that I was reading back in the day. It was a manga.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I'm not used to it, so I'm guessing you got used to the whole manga reading. I'm still getting used to it. I'm still sometimes reading from right to left if I walk away from the book and come back. But I'm loving it. I think that this was a really good book. This is issues 1 or mangas 1 through 5. This 14 out right now. I'll either get the individual books and continue, or I'll wait for the next gigantic book, which I believe Audrey said might be coming out in the spring. So I'm really fighting myself and saying wait so you can get another gigantic book like this, but I don't know. Maybe I'll see if somebody has them so I could read them at least to wait for the big book. But after that second big book, I'm just going to go into the smaller ones. But I'm enjoying it. I really think Attack on Titan's fun. We actually, and this is the perfect part, another segue into something me and Dan also have that we were going to share on the live show. You guys know we're going to be doing Epic Story at some point, so Mike and I went out and we actually found a replica, a legit replica. This is metal. Of the Attack on Titan sword. Obviously, it's not, exactly like the anime. I mean, the what do you call this? The trigger doesn't work, and the sword does have the lines in it, though. I will say that it's a dull blade because this is a cosplay sword, so there's no sharpness to the blade. Not like we have the Master Sword. The Master Sword is sharp, but this, even the edge is a rounded edge. It's not sharp in any way, shape, or form. So it's not a lethal weapon, basically. It's just a big chunk of metal that looks like a sword from this far away, but when you get close enough, you see that it's all squared off, and there's no way in hell this could cut anything except maybe butter. This is a big old butter knife. That's what this is. A big old butter knife.
So let's hope
with a nice little black sword.
The times I made of butter, we could just cut them in half like that and then make Olivia toast.
Exactly. But it's really nice for the amount of money we paid. It's very good quality, down to where the trigger finger goes and everything. So it's nice. And again, it's not so accurate that people will say when we're doing it in Epic Story that, hey, that's exactly like Attack on Titan. No. This is actually a cosplay made one, and it is very unique. The handle is very unique.
And it could go on the belt, too.
Yeah, you can tie it on the belt.
No, I meant that part of it. But, yeah.
So it's a very unique sword. Dan, you want to show your sword off? Your sword is cooler because there's a reason behind it also.
Yeah, this was a sword. Actually, I was competing in the the INBF Hercules at the drug-free bodybuilding show. This was in 2000. And the top 5 competitors were all getting swords as the trophy. I guess in keeping with their Hercules theme, even though I think of Hercules as using a club. But at any rate, maybe Kevin Sorbo influenced them, and they got swords for everybody. So it came on the scabbard. It had a little plaque here. There goes my camera. Let's get some light on that. So yeah, it had a little placard. It was second place in the heavyweight division. Let's see. And yeah, it came in a leather scabbard. Got the handle here, and then
whoa.
Yeah, it's a real sword.
Yeah, it's got a sound effect here.
Yeah, that's nice.
And yeah, I mean, this one's not all that safe, and I guess if yours is a butter knife, this is a steak knife, I guess. But yeah, I've thought about hanging it up a couple times. I just never. This is like, I guess, kind of Conan style or something, but I'm not one to really walk around Long Island carrying a Conan sword. So, and as with that one, I guess you could put it on your belt.
Yep.
Again, no cosplay place is going to let you walk around with this, so. But, you have to sign a release when you won one of these, and it just makes a good memory of participating in that drug-free bodybuilding show.
Yeah. And that's the thing I want to talk about. They sell these things at the convention, to give away, and you can't use them anyway, so why even sell them?
For your home. For display purposes in your house.
Yeah, but it's a lethal weapon, therefore you can get in trouble.
No, because you have to be 18 or older to buy it.
But why sell it if you can't even walk around with it?
Display purposes. Why did I buy a Captain America shield? I'm not going to throw it around to people.
Well, that was,
Yeah, I mean, we all have steak knives in the house, so,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, actually, all right, since we were talking with Dan, we started the sword thing. Dan, you went to Toys R Us recently. I saw the bags you brought up. So, want to show everybody what you recently got at Toys R Us, by the way?
I just want to rewind to manga for a second.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I haven't been reading a lot of manga, but American manga is something that I've really been passionate about through Antarctic Press. Antarctic Press puts out Ninja High School, and as I made reference to, it's going to be a little more manga than you used to, but the new issue Argo 5, I had Ben Dunn, creator of Ninja High School do this Argo 5 pinup. They also put out Antarctic Press Gold Digger, which is always on my whole videos. Fred Perry, another one of their top creators. They got another one of their books, Steampunk Goldilocks, this week came out. So, yeah, I'm going to go into the toys, but I just wanted to give a little plug to Antarctic Press, being that, again, we were talking manga, and they're like known as the pioneers of American manga. So I really love their stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gold Digger, the artwork there, and the artwork, and that page actually does remind me of manga-esque artwork.
Yeah, Ben Dunn, Ninja High School's been going on for a long time. I have a complete run of that. I highly recommend it to anyone.
Is it still? Where does it come out from? Antarctic Press.
Antarctic Press. Ninja High School and Gold Digger. There are reprints of them from the beginning. They have what they call brick collections, which is kind of like what you have, I think, where it's a thick collection of a lot of issues.
Like this?
Yeah, like I'm saying, exactly. Gold Digger Brick or Ninja High School. If you look those online, you'll find them. Two series that I couldn't recommend enough. But, all right, yeah, going into the toys. See what I have here. Where's that thing? Toys. Oh, here it is. The Spider-Man I was showing you. You know, they have that Web Warriors line that's shorter than the Marvel Legends, so I haven't really been buying any of those. But as Miles Morales is shorter than your average superhero, they had this one at Toys R Us. Again, comparing height-wise to a Marvel Legends.
He's a little shorter, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I'd say that Marvel Legends 6-inch, this being a 5-inch. I wasn't interested. They have a whole bunch of characters. They got Agent Venom, Spider-Man. I think they have you know, the whole group there, Nova and all them. But again, being a Marvel Legends collector, this was the only one that really made sense for me. And then I also, yeah, I don't know. You go to Toys R Us, you see that the Hot Wheels section is like decimated. There's cars all over the place, and I kind of figured out at some point that these people are looking for like certain cars that tie in. There's been a lot of tie-in cars.
I saw a lot of those in, yes, like that at my local Stop and Shop. They have Batman, they have Venom, and the Avengers.
Yeah,
those are nice. That's nice.
Yeah,
that one's really nice.
yeah. This is Batman on the motorcycle, and I tell you, I came across on eBay, and I'll show you these. I came across all these licensed cars that I didn't know existed.
And they're like $1 change, right? Or were they more?
Like, there are so many that I never knew they made a Hot Wheels of. Let's see.
How much were they, Dan? They were like $1 and change, or these are more higher ones?
Yeah, that one was like, I think like $2.70, the Batmobile. The rest of these I had to get online because, again, I'm not in there digging through all these cars all the time. And again, I'm sure these online retailers are the type who, as I mentioned before, go when the store opens, dig through everything that's desirable, and you know it's going to be tough to find them on the shelves. But what is this now? This is the Back to the Future car. They made one, a Hot Wheels of that.
Oh, wow.
Was that Back to the Future?
Yep.
Jetsons.
I saw that at my local Walgreens.
Scooby-Doo.
The Mystery. Oh.
Yep, Mystery Machine. Let's see. It's just I wouldn't have been looking for this, but they Snoopy on the Storecast. It just happened to come in the set. Otherwise, I wouldn't have really been digging for it. I guess they had a Bat Cycle without Batman on it. I like the
Yeah.
one with Batman on it more. Another Batmobile.
Oh, that's a classic one. It looks like.
Yeah, this is. Let's see if they describe
It's on
this.
the bottom. It was right on the bottom. Arkham Knight.
Arkham Asylum Batmobile. Yeah. So I don't know if that's from the video game or not. They had this one from the new movies.
Yeah, I saw that at Stop and Shop.
Yeah, some of these I've seen. Oh, this was a funny one. I didn't know they made a Hot Wheels of. In the episode of The Simpsons where they want Homer to design a car that appeals to the everyman, that's the car that Homer designed in that episode of The Simpsons. This I have a number of, but it was in the lot, so I ended up with it. The TV Batmobile.
Yeah, wow, that one looks really nice.
Yeah, that's again one that I kind of had a number. This is something that I remember Corgi put out. James Bond drove a Lotus Esprit in one of the films. I remember Corgi put one out. My friend had it. I didn't have it. Always liked. It's a car that went into the water, and then they went underwater with it.
Oh, okay.
One of the Roger Moore ones. So that was in the lot. What else is here? Let's see. Trying to dig through these bags, make sure I didn't leave any of them out. Well, here's another Batmobile. This is more like the Michael Keaton, but it kind of has red trim on it.
Ooh, it's nice, though.
Yeah, that's a good one. Flintstones.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you if they made one of those.
Yeah, they made two of those, I think. Yeah, here's the other one. They're different color schemes.
Oh, yeah, because there was a wood one, too, yeah.
There's that one, and then there's that one. This is orangish. This is more brownish. I don't know which one. Maybe one's from that movie or something?
Maybe, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe one's like... I don't know if I had this already, but it was in the lot.
Oh, I have that. I have that one. I have that one, the Star Trek one. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and when you're talking cars, how can you leave out Reach?
Yep.
Was an old Disney movie. Let's see. Yeah, I think I got through them all. But, yeah, again, these are a lot of cars that I didn't know exist. So, I was able to find them all in one lot.
Yeah,
Get it for a reasonable price.
Oh.
But, yeah, it's just tough to kind of dig through them all, being that the guys online,
jump in the store early in the morning.
Yeah, digging for them. That's it.
Yeah, because it reminded me of actually a long time ago.
Michael's a humongous Hot Wheels fan.
I was humongous Hot Wheels, Matchbox, Micro Machines, and I was more along the lines with Hot Wheels also, and I used to have a big collection. I have them somewhere under here somewhere, but
I think they're in the attic now.
Or down in the attic, the big gigantic box and all that. But they're ancient. They're really unique.
Oh yeah.
I will say.
Mm-hmm. One thing that you said before we went live, Dan, was a lot of people, those internet people, are really running into the store and they grab whatever is desirable and leave whatever is not so uncommon. I think that those toy people found my local Walgreens, because I actually got two things today, and it turns out in this line, one figure is rare, and they're asking for about $20, $30 for it, but we've talked about it. I believe we talked about it. I'm trying to remember if we talked about it on Hall of Toys, but it's a specific line that right now they have it for Star Wars, they have it for Avengers, they have it for X-Men, they just did one for Guardians of the Galaxy because the movie came out. They did it for Spider-Man. I saw it online, and I never saw the figures in person, so I couldn't judge if I really wanted them or not. Again, it feels retro, like they're retro toys, because the arms only go up and down, and the legs, same thing, just up and down. There's no elbow joints, no wrist joints. The head does a full 180, but that's it. There's no ab crunching. There's nothing. No articulation. Mostly they remind me of the Justice League 12-inch figures. They literally are meant to just stand. And I got two today. Since you got Miles Morales, I'll show that one first. I got the Miles Morales one. It's from the Web Warriors line also. These are the Titan Hero series. They're 12 inches, but let me open one up and I'll show you guys, because I'm going to open these up anyway. Or the box could completely not cooperate with me and I'll have to tear the box. Oh, no, it cooperated. Nice. Oh, here's the whole box. And it just...
They have the twisty things, don't they?
You got the twist ties tying it in there, right?
Not twist ties. I need the scissors. It's not twist ties. They actually stamped it in. So you have to cut it instead of untwisting it. But there's only 4, so good news there is the unpacking is dead easy. And here you go. Classic figure. Arms go up and down. Legs go up and down. Oh, and and the ankles do swivel. Wow. Not the ankle, the upper leg swivels and the head semi-turns. It doesn't even do a full 180, I'm afraid to. Oh, and it looks up and down. Haha. How about that? There is a bit of articulation. And one hand is open, I guess, if you want to put a gun, but I don't know why. For Spider-Man, you do that. And then you got your fist. No swivel, no swivel. So here's the Miles Morales Spider-Man. It's hard to see because he's black and the camera's dark.
Yeah.
I put my hand behind it.
No, not really. I'll take some pictures and put it on my Instagram. I should have taken pictures of them in the box before I took them out. But anyway, the other one I got was, and this one will be easier to see, Spider-Man 2099. Let's break this one out if I can. You gotta rip the top open a little bit to get it open.
Yeah, because that's always out after.
Later, I want to put there's something in the back, so then I want.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I'll just put that there, man.
This one has a different hand.
Oh, it does. Okay, whoa, I almost slipped out.
Again, just like the other figure, basic. Arms go up and down, and legs have the swivel at the foreleg, and the leg goes up and down. This one has an open hand, as you can see, again, if you have your gun thing. But instead of having a fist, it has the
web shooter
hand.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I like this one. I saw both of these at my local Walgreens. Again, the one that's the most expensive in this line is actually, believe it or not, the black suit Spider-Man, the one with the Venom symbol.
Okay.
And this one without the webbing over here. And it's glossy and has just the spider on it. I don't know, I think that was the Scarlet Spider, that's why. But anyway, there was only one of these left, this one, so I grabbed it, and it's in pretty good shape. The paint's not too scratched. I mean, I could paint the red over, little pieces that need it. And this one, there was only 3 left, now 2 because I took the third one, and this one had the best paint job. As you can see, the chest, there's no blemishes. The face, there's no blemishes. The other 2, one of them, in the eye, it was blue, and the other one over here in the leg, it didn't come to the point. It came to like a U shape because it was missing the red. So this one, essentially, had the best paint job. Mm-hmm. And again, these figures are literally just meant to stand. This is all they do. There's nothing else they do. You can't do anything with them.
You can swing at someone who...
You can swing them at somebody, but that's it. So, literally,
no, don't do
you
that.
Just take it,
don't do that.
Stand it, like this, and that's it. That's all it does. And the one good thing, though, and a lot of figures nowadays are $20, $30, $40, unless you're buying from Japan, which I did buy one figure recently from Japan. Hopefully it'll be here tomorrow or sometime next week or the week after. Japan charges only $22, but again, it's $20. These figures, and these are great for kids, because you know what? Kids don't need articulation because they're kids. They just want to bang the shit out of their toys.
That's true.
Perfect banging toys, and they're a foot tall. How many times when we were kids did we want toys that were almost a foot or two tall?
Actually, they were a foot or two tall, like wrestling and all the other stuff.
Yeah, but I'm talking about superhero
about
ones.
superheroes, yeah.
So these are perfect, and they're only wait for the price on Amazon, $9 and change. The only ones that are really expensive are the rare ones. The Venom one, the glossy Miles Morales. There's an Iron Spider-Man, the one from the... Do you have the box? Right here. They have an Iron Spider-Man, this guy right here. Same.
Yeah, the red.
Yep, $9. They have an Agent Venom. Where's Agent Venom? Agent Venom's somewhere over here. He was... Oh, right, there he is.
Yeah, he's in the middle.
He's in the middle, right there. There's an Agent Venom figure also, if you can find him. And I have the other two, obviously. They don't have $20.99 here. And then in the back, you get a nice little picture. Get a picture on the side, too, if you want to keep them in the box. And you get a little bio. So I thought these were really nice. I grabbed them, literally. When I saw... My store obviously gets their deliveries on Fridays. The section was ransacked. All the rare stuff gone, all the common stuff still there. These two were common, but like I said, last one, third to last one. So I just grabbed them while I had the chance because I have a feeling I'll go back on Monday. You won't see him, and you won't see anybody anymore. The only ones that stick around are the Star Wars ones, and I think that's because there's an overabundance of them.
Yeah, but there's also the movie that, still.
But I'm very satisfied with my purchase. I don't need super articulation. These would be good, and I might actually find a place for them in the background of my comic book reviews.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you that if you were going to put one of them in the back there.
I think they're great. Dan, have you ever thought about getting any of those?
Nah, having more Marvel Legends and DC Directs than I have a display room, I'm already maxed out. So, yeah, I stay away from, as you know, the 3 3/4, and staying away from, well, I have some bigger figures. Statues I have a bunch of. There's a few bigger figures. Marvel Legends even did a larger scale. I have some of those. But yeah, for the most part, again, here's that Build-A-Figure with the Green Goblin that it's just sitting here on my scanner because I don't have any room to put any of these anywhere. Just out of room. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, luckily I'm not, looking to buy 12-inch.
All right, we do have some comments, so let's get into them. And obviously this was when we were talking DC and Marvel. One is from Jeremy. There's several from Jeremy, actually. I'm just going to go by the ones I see. Jeremy said, it's sad that Marvel and DC are both copying a major event that changed comic book history. I agree. They are kind of copying Crisis. Ryan says, let's hope the abomination that is the current Batgirl run gets canceled. I agree. Gail Simone's off the book. And I think that's all the current comments, if I'm not mistaken. 3. Jeremy. One more from Jeremy. Also, some good mangas to read are One Piece. I'm going to butcher this. Toriko, Berserk, Boku no Hero, and The God of High School.
I heard something about The God of High School from
I think I did too. I'm trying to remember.
It sounds familiar, kind of, I would say, but...
Yeah.
So
anyway, before we go, there's one other game. I want to talk about this stupid game. Ellie bought this game.
Oh my God! Can I talk?
Ellie bought this game. If you want to feel like a complete and utter moron, if you want to feel like you are stupid beyond stupid, my score in this game is in the negatives.
Same here.
The hardest trivia game in history.
The guy you hear, you want to get him and punch him in the face because he is such a jerk to you.
Well, that's the point.
I'm making a PG here. A jerk to you in that game. Because I can think of 100 things to say about the guy, but I'm going to leave it at jerk. Just, no. No, because he really is to you. He makes you look like a total moron.
Yeah. So,
Dan, have you ever played that game or know of someone that played it?
No. No, it sounds like what you're talking about. It sounds like the guy's like Pat Sajak on Jeopardy or something.
something like that, except a more
yeah.
critical version.
Yeah. Someone who we don't want to hang out with much. Let's just put it that way.
Definitely. So, Dan, as we're rearing or rounding out towards the end of the show, are there any other things you'd like to talk about before we conclude this?
Yeah, I got something to say here.
Godzilla.
Nope. Hold on. That didn't work out.
Oh.
What happened? Oh, you were trying to do the sound effect?
Here we go. There we go.
There.
That works. Awesome.
Yeah, no, as I said, I'm working on Argo 5 number 16, so that's coming up. As you know, and I said on my haul videos, my comic store burnt down. It was on the local news. They said all those back issues were the perfect fuel for the fire. They did find a temporary location, so everything that I had put in my previews order are still coming. So I'll be happy about that. They're going to have kind of a benefit or something that I'll keep you posted about as far as what's going to happen there.
And I'll definitely promote if you guys want to come on a live show, I'll make a special night for you guys. Like I said, if you guys want to get together to promote it, all you gotta do is let me know.
Yeah, at the very least, I'll be taking some video for that. Whenever that occurs, they have me probably there to set up for Argo Comics, and then also do like convention sketches. I'll do over there. So I'll have to dust off the pencils and pens and bristboard and get some commissions going for people again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we're here to support. So if you guys, whenever you have the before the event, let me know. We'll promote it on a live show. We'll talk about it for a little bit. Comic shop owner can come on. Anybody who would like to come on and talk about it are welcome to come on, and we'll do a special live show. Won't be on Friday, obviously, or maybe it will be a Friday. It depends on scheduling. But remember, guys, the regular shows go first. But we will have, if there is something, Dan, just let us know, and we will definitely do something.
No, sounds great. Sounds great.
All right. And speaking of shows, let's talk about the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Next Friday, God willing, will be the celebration episode, 2,000 sub celebration. There will be a contest. I'll start tweeting about that soon. It will be for a comic book, a digital comic.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say to that though is really congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. The contest will be for a single comic book. I have to come up with a good question or method to do the contest. I'm working on a guest. Unfortunately, Dan won't be able to make it, as Dan's schedule for work has now kicked back in, and we won't be seeing Dan until, I believe, the first week of March, ironically, because he's going to be doing work.
Oh, yeah, because of the Rhine. I just remembered.
Dan is going to be a regular guest on Dark Avenger Live. It's a podcast, and hopefully he'll pop in with Hall of Toys, as myself and Brent left the invitation wide open for any time he wants to pop on.
Toys? I know nothing about toys.
So Dan will definitely be on those shows. Unfortunately, Epic Rewind, we still have to get Dan into some video games.
Believe me, you could come to me for that. I'll help you, buddy.
Well, then you'll be seeing Argo comics coming out once every 6 months, and we don't want that to happen.
I don't want that. Definitely don't want that.
I'll be all like, Luigi, get over that thing that's in the roadway. I got to get this Mario Kart going.
But the schedule is going to be in 2 weeks. after the celebration, the first week of February, it will be Dark Avenger Live. That's my channel exclusive show. Basically, kind of like this show where we're sitting down talking with you guys. Little bit of toys, little bit of comics. No games though. Games. Oh no, actually, Dark Avenger Live. Yes, little bit of games, little bit of everything. This is that'll be the everything show. And the following week will be It's a Podcast. That's the show that is toy and comic centric alone. Just toys and comic books we'll be talking on that show. And mostly it'll probably be comic books because toys we're going to be talking about the following week on Zone 4 Podcast YouTube channel. And that's going to be Hall of Toys. You know that show where we talk about toys and board games? Yep. And then the last week of the month, because there's only 4 Fridays in every month, we hope. If there's a fifth, there'll be an extra Dark Avenger Live.
Isn't February the shortest month?
So then one show will be missing, probably Dark Avenger Live.
Right.
That's the extra one.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
But anyway, no, actually, I think there are. Check the calendar.
Yeah,
I think there's 4
the
Fridays.
Oh, I could check your phone.
He's gonna check his. You just open the door and the calendar's right there, you know.
Let's see. There are 1, 2, 3. Oh no, there are 4 weeks.
Told you, 4 Fridays.
I thought it was shorter because.
So anyway, in the last week of the month, that's the gaming week. Epic Rewind will be reformatted to be a rewind of everything we are doing. Our experiences basically gaming on Frontline Gaming Zone. It's going to be a group of us from Frontline Gaming Zone talking gaming news, our experiences in the games we're playing at this very moment, and other gaming stuff, what like that there, you know, gaming discussion basically. And also, ironically, that's the same week that Hit Points comes out on Zone 4 Podcast, so it goes hand in hand with each other, the podcast and the live show. And then we rinse and repeat. And, of course, schedules are always meant to be broken, so you never know after the first couple of months if we have to switch up shows or change weeks for shows. The good news is that schedule will also be on zone4podcast.com, so if we ever do have to change shows after the first couple of months of a regular schedule, if we ever do have to change a show, you can check it out on zone4podcast.com, or you can just keep an eye on my Twitter, because every week on Monday I will be tweeting what show will be on Friday and who will be on it throughout the week. Yeah, I'll be posting little details about it throughout the week if I have the chance.
Why don't you do it in the middle of the week, you know, like on Wednesday?
Don't tell me how to run my Twitter.
Well, Wednesday's like hump day.
Also, don't forget to check out Instagram, where I post all these lovely pictures of toys and books and video
pictures
games.
of me.
And pictures of Michael.
Without a shirt on,
with a bag on his head.
All that other stuff.
I put a.
Just don't feed him chocolate.
And we get cornholio.
I don't think you want to feed me chocolate.
I know. And cornholio comes out.
Who's Cornholio? I don't know who this Cornholio is.
You don't know him because you're never in the same room.
I have yet to know him. I don't know.
Right, sure.
I don't.
But usually I try to post up a couple of things every week on my Instagram. I'll probably be posting this up with probably a book or something. A pin I got from Japan for Attack on Titan.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, Michael's a bit late to the show here. So anyway,
I forgot to show you this one. I forgot to show you this one.
Show.
Classic.
Action Comics #1 Superman, where he's bending a Tommy gun. No relation to Tommy, who's over there, but bending a Tommy gun. He's got that old school Superman symbol from Action #1, and he's got those boots that they miscolored in Action 1, blue. But yeah, I had to. Again, not liking New 52, I had to go all the way back to Action #1 to get, you know, old school Superman represent for him.
There you go. Hopefully we'll get some old school Superman after Convergence.
Definitely.
Fingers crossed. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this not scheduled, not celebration live show. We hope you guys enjoyed. As always, don't forget to check out all the awesome websites that we are a part of. Don't forget to check out argocomics.com. That's ARGO comics.com. That's where all of Dan's comics are and will be for the rest of time and space. And come back here soon. We'll have some other videos. Mike and I are already working on that at the movies.
Yeah.
Dan, as always, if you're around, we're not going to be doing those on Friday, but if you're around during the week, if you're ever off and you'd like to join us for at the movies, you're more than welcome. We're going to be doing a lot of different movies throughout.
I do watch movies.
I'm trying to get back into them. That's his way of trying to push me to get them.
Yeah.
I even got a movie I swore I'd never get just to watch it and pull my
that one,
eyeballs
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So, anyway, guys, thank you. And we'll see you guys next week for the actual celebration video. Wait. I always say goodbye, and then as I say goodbye, there's several comments. So this time, I'm actually going to be a smart one and click the video again, and I'm going to see if there are any more comments because I always miss one. Let's see. Brand.
Oh, Brand.
There aren't 5 Fridays until May. So May, thank you, Brent. Hi, Brent, by the way.
Brand.
So in May, there'll be 2 Dark Avenger lives. Thank you, Brent. Brent also said, I used to play You Don't Know Jack on Facebook all the time. Doesn't it make you feel stupid, Brent? Because it sure as hell makes me feel stupid. And let's see, anything else? 10 minutes ago.
There's more.
That was 3 minutes ago. I'm looking. 59, 38, 39, 36, 1 hour, 47. No. Brant was the latest commenter.
On the bottom.
There is?
Yeah.
Nope, 1 hour ago.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. All right. Good
So,
thing you checked.
Indeed, I'm glad. Oh, God, I would have felt horrible if I missed out on Brant's comments. I always want to answer Brant's comments, so I'm glad I caught Brant. See, Brant, I caught you. I got you. Got you, man. So, thank you guys so much. I'm sure Brent and I will be talking about You Don't Know Jack on Epic Rewind at the end of the month. So, till next time, everybody, thank you guys for sticking with us. Sorry, I was a little under the weather, and hopefully promotion for the actual celebration show will be better. And we're working on a few other things on Comic Frontline. I came up with I Had a Dream. No Martin Luther King reference.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe I'll implement that dream in the next month or so, 2 months or so. We'll see.
Whenever it happens.
Working on it.
Yeah.
And until then, take care, everybody. See you guys soon.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye.